All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. Hey, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the Akim and to the elect. They're scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, pushing the truth and faith and sincerity. I'm the brother Shema Allah from the GMS Houston camp. And this lesson is going to be entitled, not a group test. All right. This should be really quick. I was watching the brothers out in Dallas. And, it was a lesson they did. I believe it was a few days ago. All right, but it was basically speaking about having that winning mindset. Doing Jacob's trouble. And the importance of basically building that personal relationship with the Lord now, and consistently working those spiritual muscles, right? Praying, getting into a habit to where it's like second nature. So, when you're in the moment, right? When things actually kick off, right? And, when hell actually happens, right? Down here, you're not panicking, right? Because you've been doing this and you've been living it and you've been putting it into practice. All right, that's the whole point of practicing things. When you're a football player or you're a basketball player, you're constantly practicing, right? Doing things over and over and over again. You're a fighter, you're doing things over and over again, right? Intense training. So once that moment, actually comes, right? It's just second nature. You're just doing it. Because when the moment actually happens, it's not gonna be, any time to try to get it together. If you ain't been doing it, you're not gonna be able just to turn on faith. You're not gonna be able just to turn on believing or leaning on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah praying. If you have not been doing it, all right, when that time comes, it's gonna show, right? And you're gonna be exposed. That's why it's important to get it in now. And that's where the title comes from too. Because can't nobody make you do that. You gotta already believe in that for yourself. It's not a group test. Okay? Because when you in school, you have, school projects, and then you get coming together as a group, and then y'all collectively get graded, on whatever the goal was. But this ain't gonna be like that. Right? The works that the next man does, right? It's because you might be cool with him. All right. Y'all might be tight or whatever. Hey, his works don't fall on you. All right, we all in this, ourselves, as far as, our day-to-day lives, studying, reading, applying this thing, day in, day out. You gotta do that. All right, can nobody make you do that? All right, that's our walk. Hey, we gotta do that. Okay. But yeah, I'll start here in Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Okay, so Jacob's trouble. Jacob is going into the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it's speaking about a particular day that's coming in the latter days to where we're all gonna go through fucking hell. All right? And cause the Lord's gonna let Esau Edom loose. And he's gonna be doing things in throughout Babylon the Great, all right, throughout the world. All right. Hey, he's gonna show his horns, man, and he's gonna come down on Jake hard, right? Because he has this new world order agenda to push, and hey, he feel like he gotta make it happen now. All right, the time is now, because he don't have a lot of time, like it says in Revelation 12. All right, so now is the time for him to do it, and when he do it, all right, he's going to be a complete devil. He's gonna show you who he truly is. He's gonna show you his true colors. All right, and we know what he is. All right, we've seen his track record. All right, we see the what the scripture said he gonna do. right? Being like a madman, sparing none. Right, this the type of energy he about to tap into. He about to tap into his blessing, right? 100%, right? So we gonna have to lean on the Lord, right? But it says it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, and that's speaking about a particular remnant. But each one of these individuals, right, of the remnant, right, gonna have to do their own part in their life. It's not based on another man. Oh, I knew this man, and I was cool with him, and he always applied this word, right? Oh, the Most High favored him, and the Most High, I know the Most High pleased with him, so I'm gonna have to, nah, it don't work like that, right? His works is his works, and your works is your works. All right. Philippians 2:12 says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." Right. So he says, obey, not in my presence only, but much more in my absence. Because you gotta understand, bro. Like, we gotta walk. We gotta walk this walk, man, and not just talk it. All right, we gotta actually be about this. We gotta actually, live this. All right, it's not no game. It's not nothing just for a show. All right, our salvation is on the line. Right, all hell is really about to break loose. It's about to get bad out here. And our covering and our protection depends on our actions and how we been being obedient unto the Lord, doing what He say. All right, enduring, having the integrity, and not getting wrapped up into this place, keeping this the main thing. That's gonna matter, and that's what we have this grace period now for, to put that work in now, right? So that we can be protected. It's all this is for. It's protection, okay? And to be saved, bro, and to be covered by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, but individually, we all have to put that work in. We all have to, and it has to be taken seriously. All right, because it's your salvation. But it says, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So it's about our own salvation. Okay, nobody can get us saved. We can assist one another in this truth. We can give guidance. We can give counsel. Okay. But the person whose ears, right, that the message is going to, they have to take that and apply that and do what needs to be done. Because the brother ain't with you all the time. Right? And who knows how it's gonna be in Jacob's trouble? Like I said, you can be on your own. You're not gonna have nobody to tell you, hey, the scripture said this when you're going through something, think about this or think about that account, or think about this account when this man got saved and the Lord delivered him from that, so he can deliver us. No, bro, you gotta have that in your mind already. That's what we got. That's what now is for, to be reading these things. We're reading these accounts. All right, can nobody make you do it? Because in that time, bro, it's game time. Once things actually pop out, bro, it is game time. All right. But let's go here to 2nd Esdras real quick. I'll get straight to the point, and that'll be it, right? But it says, the 2nd Esdras 7:6 says, there's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and it's full of all good things, right? This is speaking of the kingdom of heaven. Right, full of all of the blessings and the things that the Lord promised us that we're going to get, right? But it says, the entrance thereof, right, is narrow, and it's set in a dangerous place to fall, like is there a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. All right, so it's a dangerous place, right? The entrance thereof, and the entrance, is that straight gate, this truth. It's spoken of in Matthew the 7th chapter, the straight gate, which is a position of difficulty. So this is going to be difficult, right? And it says there's a fire on the right hand, right? The trials and the tribulation that we're going to have to endure. and it left a deep water going into, the different philosophies and the different, fucking bugged out doctrines or whatever else they got out here, man. All right. So we're gonna be suffering things. It's going to be a battle. All right, it's gonna be a battle that we gotta fight as being soldiers of Yahushua. Hey, when a soldier go to war, man, you gotta the things that you learned in training or all of the training that you did, the weapons training, the combat training, you gotta put that in effect because the man next to you can't be focused on what you doing. He gotta be focused on him, right? And just hoping that the next man is doing his part. Because then now, if he got to watch you and protect you and make sure you good, then now you a liability. Hey, we don't want to be a liability in this thing. All right. With verse 7, with verse 8, it says, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. You see? So one man. We got to walk this thing alone. Because once the hour of temptation, bro, when you are tempted, that's based on you and your faith. All right, and what you've been doing to get rooted in Yahushua. All the things that you're doing now, all right, hey, it's gonna show in that day on what you've been doing. If you've been feeding the flesh or you've been feeding the spirit. All right, you've been getting built up. Right, and strengthening that relationship between you and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, all these things are going to show. That's why Paul said in 1 Corinthians, with the 3rd chapter, it's going to basically, the fire is going to try every man, basically to see what he made of, and we all gonna go through that. And that heat, right, is going to see what you made of, whether it's gold, silver, all right, or whether you just wood. Okay. But it says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So it's gonna be, hey, we gotta walk that, that straight path, right? And having a mindset, of, now, right, of doing all that we need to do to be protected in those days, right? Building up our spiritual arsenal, the spiritual riches, so we can cash out in that day and not wait till that day, to try to take action. No, it's too late at that point, bro. You gotta take it seriously now. All right, because at that time it's gonna be too late. You don't want to play like that. Anyways, none of us go. You don't want to play like that. Now is the time to get it in. Now is the time to study. Now is the time to pray. Right, and to apply these scriptures, right? Having the Lord with you, having the Lord please, right, through Yahushua, of course, right? Because you don't want to walk into that time, doubting and not and thinking that you're not enough and thinking that you ain't doing enough. That's a scary place to be in. Because someone that's fearing, that's going to be in fear, knowing that they ain't been living right. What does Scripture say? What it is? 1 John 4:18, I believe, something around there. That perfect love casteth out fear. Right, and then if you are fearing, you ain't really been operating in that love. All right. So that's the lesson. All right. With that, hey, I'm gonna say shalom.